So Destination CEO is a social enterprise, and each one of our members is driven by a single goal: to do our part in supporting job seekers from all walks of life pursue their dream careers by engaging with businesses, not-for-profit organizations, and academic institutions. We build productive relationships and make a positive impact with all of our pursuits. We believe collaboration is the key to success. We believe that helping the community of professionals, be it new graduates, internationally educated professionals, new to Canada, or professionals in transition, is our passion. And I'd like to say a few words about our team members, our core members, that were with us before, and some of them work with us now, and we have new members as well. Well, firstly, I used to work as an operating CIO of Destination CEO. My name is Benjamin. Nice to meet you guys. Some of you know me, some of you don't know me. I'm a very unaccomplished individual, and that's enough to be said. But beyond that, sorry, I did not quite elicit a response, but thank you. But yeah, what I meant by unaccomplished is like I still have my dreams set up, and I'm still working hard to achieve them. Nothing much to be said beyond that. We also have Jay, who's one of our core members. Say hello, Jay. Who's a past student colleague of mine as well. We have Natalia right there. We have Chester Wong right there. And we have a few people who aren't with us this evening because they are busy, not because of any other reason. One of them is Navid, the other is Manas. Am I missing anyone? So we felt like we would give each of the core members some time to actually express what DCEO means for them. And when I say DCEO, I mean Destination CEO, just for everyone's information. But we'll just leave that for a later session in the evening. Now, that being said, as I said, we want to do good work and bring people together, because magic happens when people come together, and we will witness a lot of that this evening. Now, how did this all start? And this is where I go back to story mode, because it's an interesting outlook when you kind of merge a company's vision and mission alongside the actual story that involves the people who build the company and operate the company. Most companies don't go in this direction. They try to polish the visual fields and the audiovisual fields in terms of what picture they paint about themselves. We're a little different. While we, obviously, as you can see, the majority of us are very professionally presented this evening and so forth. Things like that matter a lot to us, and so we probably care about the other kinds of details, the details that do matter. But under the hood, we all have a very human story that explains where we come from, and that closely aligns with the company itself. So Destination CEO started with our professor, and as most students call her their Canadian mom, Mina Rawani. Mina came to Canada in the brutal winter of 1999. She and her family faced a lot of struggles to get settled in their new home in Mississauga. Very different city back then, over 20 years. 20 years to the year, right? They never imagined that their boy could not say a single sentence until he was almost 60 years old, and bullied most part of his younger life, would be writing digital promotional stories for businesses and directing indie films. And a baby whose chances of survival was less than 25%, one of only triplets who survived at birth, is our biggest motivator and the marketing guru of Destination CEO and all of her crazy ideas. Please give a great round of applause for these two individuals. As a geographer and a photographer. In the beginning of their Canadian journey, Fareed, her husband, worked several survival jobs to make ends meet, but their ends were not meeting. Mina's weakest point was the day when she stood outside the Mississauga food bank for the first time in her life, waiting to get some food for her family, as the only money they had left was enough to pay the rent. She made a decision that day when life changes, and she knew it will. She will do whatever she could to help as many people as possible, avoid being in the situation she was in at the time. And that's when she was suggested to volunteer at the YMCA, and all their lives changed forever. Mr. Fareed landed his real job in the city of Toronto in 2006, and the day he got his first paycheck, he told his wife, "Go and build your dreams." And that's when, in true meaning, Destination CEO was born. Moving on to the next part of the story. Now, Mina met her first mentor, Erica Taylor. Erica, say hello.
Hello, here.
Mina met her first mentor, Erica Taylor, at the YMCA, which is right across the parking lot from here. I don't know which direction, sorry. Parking lots in all directions. Erica was the kindest person she met in an extremely long time. Erica welcomed Mina and took her under her wings. She first guided Mr. Fareed to go back to school and do a diploma in social services, and he did. This is where Humber came into their lives, Humber College came into their lives. She also encouraged and empowered Mina by giving her numerous opportunities so she could learn new things and grow with her career. So we move on to the next part of the story where Mina left the YMCA and began her journey in the world of recruitment. She worked for a recruitment agency and moved on to start her own. But as business started flourishing, there's always a twist. Mina's life turned upside down due to the loss of her parents, one after another. She was damaged and left all hope, closed down a growing HR consultancy, and hid in the corner of a 2-bedroom apartment. Her friends tried to shake her out of her sorrow, but she kept going in deep. This is where she met her second mentor, Nitin Dora. Nitin, say hi, please, wherever you are. Nitin is the manager of a non-profit employment and community services organization called Dixie Bloor Neighborhood Services. He suggested Mina to go work with him as a newcomer mentoring coach for a few weeks. She did this, and this is where she was reunited with her purpose again. She also decided to go back to school and complete her certification in human resources. So, just around that time, Nitin referred her to another nonprofit that was hiring for a job developer, and this was when there was another big turning point in her life. Mina met her new best friend, Natalia Shipu. And Natalia worked at this non-profit organization and was extremely passionate about helping her clients, then persons with disabilities, get employed. They bonded over their love for client job development and coaching. Natalia, being a new immigrant herself, was also very passionate to help internationally educated professionals, something which was also close to Mina's heart. Almost from the first time they met, the two became inseparable, and they looked for every opportunity to work together, and this has not changed until today. His name is Andrew Casolo, and he's a great mentor, very critical. He's one of those very important critical people, critical thinking people who everyone needs to have around once in a while to tell them their flaws. He's not afraid to speak his mind. He really changed a lot of people's minds about how they need to pursue their careers, the job market, and how they need to particularly proceed with their career. So he was working at Soft Choice, and that's how we met him, because they were looking for .NET developers at the time. And then he kind of got involved, and basically himself, Natalia, and Mina kind of worked together at one point in time to kind of bring together, just start up talks to help people, mentoring, and then also get him involved with power prospecting and other aspects of this Destination CEO. So, if you ever meet him out there in the world, know that he's one of our really cherished mentors and a very great person, a very great personality to work with. Moving a little bit forward, during the search for .NET developers, Mina's path crossed with Ravinder Palsing, who was then the program manager of a newcomers bridging program at Humber College. 1 year later, Mina found herself working for the program at Humber, and Ravinder gave her unlimited opportunities to grow and get involved in almost everything she wanted to. She was so in love with her students that she stopped at nothing to get them employed. And she even won the President's Extra Mile Award for 100% placements. That's very rare.
And by the way, this was before graduation for all the students. Mina met Chester Wong, just to say hi, at a diversity awards gala. His energy was so strong, as you will see, and she asked him for his number. And then from then onward, they started a great relationship where, simply put, he loved Mina at first sight, or at least that's what she tells us all. He gave her his number and also introduced her to his then partner and now his handsome husband, Gary Taylor. Gary and Chester both worked in the corporate world, but had the dream to start a healthy cafe together. As Mina and Chester's friendship grew, she was inspired by how Chester and Gary both left their corporate gigs and started their little cafe, Fuel Plus, in downtown Toronto. And this cafe will be soon celebrating 6 years and 3 branches. Now something you guys should also know is that Chester has his own cooking channel on YouTube. So you can tell us a little bit about that as well. And so as the journey continued, Mina volunteered most of her free time to help international students get employed and then raise the profile of the tech program she taught in to a 95% new graduate employment. With most of her students employed, Mina had several job leads but no students to place. Yet, there were numerous job seekers reaching out to her on social media. She decided to help more, so she reached out to some of her successful grads and her closest friends and started this amazing movement which we now know as Destination CEO. During this journey, Mina met Timothy Wong. Timothy, say hi.
Timothy, say hi.
At an event, and later found out that along with being an extremely successful businessman and a kind soul who wanted to help her with her movement, he also worked as a part-time professor. Tim and Mina's friendship grew stronger, and with each new initiative, Mina got involved in and Tim took over the role as Mina's business advisor. Tim is an ardent supporter and one of Mina's best friends. He has always been by her side, guiding her, mentoring her, and sticking with her, both in success and in failure.
You are the CEO of your destiny. I believe it. I made it. I know it. I designed my own job. I designed where I want to go in my career, in my future, and each of you are doing the same. You have to believe it. Today in this room, most of you are working, and some of you are looking for transition. As I said, we were planning to have a very small get-together of core members, and you saw our core members are very few. But when I started planning, we have 97 people who have RSVP. My phone keeps ringing, and I'm not answering it because some are lost, some are stuck in traffic. So I know there's going to be more people that are joining us over the evening. But you guys are doing such great work. You're helping everybody. I'm only bringing you together. So where Destination CEO is going, we are working with businesses, we are working with academic institutions, we are working with nonprofits to raise the profile, to bring the community together, to bring the job seekers together with leaders.